it's the data wrangler who gets the most, most eyeballs or most preference when it comes to getting into a job. If you're good at data wrangling, everything else falls in place. So let's look at it this way. Unless and until I don't understand the data handling piece of it. When I say data handling, I'm talking about data pre-processing, which is data wrangling, data analysis, prior to that data manipulation, data analysis, and data visualization. I will not be able to give the data in a format that the machine would understand. So I need to take one step at a time. Of course, I can take two different parallel steps also, but in each of the path, I have to tread the path, learning everything that comes along. So I need to start looking at the data. I need to start looking at the IT function of it, which is basically the IT tools, the techniques, the commands, the syntax, and the platforms. So I can do data science, data analysis, data wrangling using Python, using R. There are a lot of new things also coming up. There are a lot of these tools that are coming up. And in fact, it is not that these tools are new. They have been there for over 2 decades also. Only thing is that earlier, it was all very structured. So I used to use the OLAP and OLTP applications, which would do it for me, either using MS SQL or Oracle. That's because there are legacy systems, and the legacy systems are going to remain even with the new technologies or new platforms that would come in the market. That's not going to go away, right? So it's not that I need to be certified or I need to be an expert in OLAP and OLTP also. I just need to know what it is. I just need to play around with the tools to understand various different ways in which I can do the manipulations. See, ultimately, for the data, it is the ETL that matters. Extract, transform, and load. Once I load it into a structured format, I have the tools that are already available with me. Once it gets into MS SQL, I can play around with it. But to get to a stage where I will be able to load the data in a structured format that my MS SQL would understand is a challenge. Now, this is one way of looking at getting unstructured data to a structured database and then start doing the analysis part of it. The analysis part itself, which is mainly the coding part. So basically applying the necessary logic, the mathematical logic, not the statistical logic. I'll have to separate these two out. There is statistics that I would apply, and there would be mathematical models that I would apply. And the mathematical models generally would get applied through algorithms. There would be a lot of algorithms that you would be using, naive Bayes being one of them, finding the next nearest neighbor, the k-value, and there are a lot of these algorithms which are there in the IT industry, in the market for last 60, 70, 80 years. It's not that it's new, it's been there. I'll give you a small example. We use a lot of Google Maps these days, right? Google Maps gives me the shortest distance from a point A to point B while I want to drive or I need to go and visit someone. It's built on an algorithm. Of course, everything has to be built on an algorithm. Algorithm is nothing else but the logic. So this particular algorithm was built by one of the scientists called Dijkstra, who has built this algorithm of finding the shortest distance between 2 points, that is point A and point B. Of course, it will also give you alternate routes, but it would necessarily give you alternate routes after finding the nearest or the shortest possible route. This algorithm has been there for the last 60, 65 years. It's only now that we are able to use it because IT has got into everybody's hands. Earlier, that was used for probably calculations of seeing the planetary positions and when would the planets be in the shortest distance for probably launching a satellite or something of that kind. But today, I'm using it for going from point A to point B. Okay, so these algorithms are there. There is no new algorithms as what we speak are getting introduced. No, these algorithms are there, and I don't need to go into the details of algorithms. I just need to know the logic. And when I have the data and I have the algorithm, I put it onto a machine that becomes machine learning. Now, what happens with machine learning is the way this algorithm would behave on a particular set of data. It would behave in different ways depending on the quality of the data, depending on the size of the data, depending on the complexity of the data. So the crux of the matter is data. So I'm not inventing new algorithms. I am not using any new syntax of any of the new software. Everything is the same. Look at it this way, that data is the key, and having an eye for data is what will take you places. All of this would be supportive. Yes, they would want to know about machine learning, and nothing wrong in a company asking for machine learning. It's not that you have to be good at machine learning. Nobody is good at machine learning for that matter. There you go. They are also figuring out. They are also finding ways and means in which they can start utilizing and looking at amortizing the data that they already have collected. For that, you need to just be worried about how you would manipulate the data, how you would transform the data, and of course use some of the machine learning principles. There is CNN and ANN and all of that, which can go to machine learning, and then artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is that I start training the system to behave in a particular manner. And once I have the data, the machine will start generating data on its own. And it would do the analysis on its own using the algorithms that you have built. When I say algorithms that you have built, is not that you build it from scratch. You would take the existing algorithms and extrapolate it or extend it to cater to a particular need. And that is what we call as machine learning. And extension of that would be artificial intelligence, wherein the machine learns on its own. So I would do some testing, I would do some validation, and then I leave the machine to be on its own. So it's all like this. So don't get overwhelmed with these jargons and these requirements. Companies would want sun, moon, star, everything from one candidate, which they also know they will not get. What you need to be careful about is that there are a lot of these data sets that would come across for each of the questions. So you will have to download those data sets, put it onto your R, load it, and then answer the question.